From the combined resources of its regional newsrooms across the country, this is WIN's All Australian News with Amy Duggan.
Hello and welcome to WIN's All Australian News. A young lady with cerebral palsy is taking up the challenge of walking 10,000 steps a day.
This is WIN News.
Tonight, a man reveals why he fled the state following a fatal car crash at Austinmere. Controversy over another proposal for Wollongong coal. And the 4-year-old cancer survivor melting truckies' hearts. Good evening, I'm Karen Johnston.
I'm Jeff Phillips. Also tonight, a man in court accused of murder and dumping the body in the Belanglo State Forest.
This is WIN News.
Tonight, a major fire averted due to quick action by RFS volunteers. Traffic chaos with 2 crashes within minutes of each other in Orange. And Narromine throws its weight behind the McGrath Foundation. Good evening, I'm Jeff Phillips.
This is WIN News.
Tonight, 2 fishermen tell their story after being stranded in a sinking boat. The state government confirms funds for Battlo's Cider Fest. And a new mini golf and trampoline centre to open in Wagga. Good evening, I'm Jeff Phillips.
This is WIN News.
Tonight, pressure builds on Education Minister Joy Birch to be stood down. Kathleen Batista speaks out after her horrific ordeal lost in the bush. And watch out, the booby traps popping up on Canberra's nature trails. Good evening, I'm Karen Johnston.
This is WIN News.
Tonight, an escaped campfire blamed for a bushfire near Loch Sport. A Victorian teenager's gruelling journey for a cause. And Brenton Jones celebrates his biggest career win. Good evening, I'm Britt Dieterich. Also tonight, the latest weapon in the fight against prison overcrowding.
Is WIN News.
Tonight, a mental health clinic to open in Euroa. Powerline technology to prevent bushfires in extreme weather. And the end of an era as 2 Barooga sporties step down. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, a domestic violence victim urges others to speak up.
Is WIN News.
Tonight, support for Central Victorian single mums. Tradition sees Bendigo's mayor stand down. And sustainable living the focus of a global conference in Castlemaine. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, new technology to help prevent bushfires.
Is WIN News.
Tonight, 7 years jail for a Ballarat sex offender. World first technology trial to prevent bushfires in Victoria. And Jared Fitzgerald to coach the North Ballarat Rebels. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, the state government weighs in on bullying claims at Ballarat Health Services.
Is WIN News.
Tonight, anger over a hit and run on a 90-year-old driver at Rutherglen. Everton school children call on motorists to slow down. And a funding boost for Wodonga ahead of spring racing. Good evening, I'm Bruce Roberts. Also tonight, Wodonga's new Incident Control Centre opens.
Is WIN News.
Tonight, millions of dollars to tackle child exploitation. Farmers furious as riders wreak havoc in cane paddocks. And rare adult sharks caught for the first time. Good evening to you. Officers behind the arrest of some of the world's most wanted pedophiles say the far north will be monitored more closely.
Is WIN News.
Tonight, a pilot's miraculous escape at Saunders Beach. Mango farmers count the cost following a freak storm. And North Queensland pauses to remember those who served. Good Good evening, thanks for joining us. A 55-year-old commercial pilot had a miraculous escape this morning after his Cessna crash-landed at Saunders Beach.
Is Win News.
Tonight, the partner of a man detained on Christmas Island speaks out. Discount store Flash Harry's goes into voluntary receivership, and thousands attend local Remembrance Day celebrations. Good evening, thanks for joining us. First tonight, the fiancé of a detainee at Christmas Island has spoken out about the conditions and treatment of prisoners inside the centre.
This is Win News.
Tonight, a new acting mayor for Gympie. Sunshine Coast Council scrambles to form its election demands. And the region's first cattle sale of the year gives hope to graziers. Good evening. It's been an historic day in Gympie's council chambers, with Councillor Ray Gattay becoming the second acting mayor appointed in a single term of local government.
Is Win News.
Tonight, farmers not fazed by the strengthening El Nino. Gundawindi's first CT scanner up and running. And locals pause to honour the fallen this Remembrance Day. Good evening, thanks for joining us. Also tonight, calls for Roma's derelict hospital to be completely rebuilt.
This is Win News.
Tonight, Launceston Airport evacuated and the bomb squad called in over a suspicious vehicle. A sick Antarctic expeditioner finally arrives in Hobart. And from tradition to chocolate, Tasmanians mark Good Friday. Good evening, Peter Hughes in Tasmania with Win News.
Tonight, the hunt for the Cricket World Cup fans who became involved in a vicious brawl.
Bribery claims made against the judges who sentenced 2 Australians to death.
And the moment a tornado ripped through a Hunter vineyard.
The shed, as a result of it, it's just exploded. It's just not there anymore.
This is NBN News with Paul Lobb and Natasha Bayersdorf.
Good evening, and first to breaking news. Indonesian officials have just confirmed Bali 9 ringleaders Andrew Chan and Mayoran Sukumaran will this week be moved to their place of execution.